thank you to Thomas Moreira for these 4 suggestions. Hello everybody, this is JT Productions and welcome back to a preview and prediction video. Today, I will be doing the Washington Huskies. Let's go. The Huskies last year went 4-8, 3-6 in the Pac-12, losing their last 4 games of the season, 1 by 10, 1 by 5, 1 by 3, and 1 they got blowout in by Washington State. They lost to start this season against Montana by a score at home. Then they went on the road and got pounded by Michigan. Then they won 2 games against Arkansas State and Cal in overtime. Then they lost at Oregon State, lost against UCLA, beat Arizona, beat Stanford, lost to Oregon, lost to Arizona State, lost to Colorado, and lost to Washington State. So Washington, last year, they had a pretty good defense, Pac-12 standards. They had a terrible offense. Their offense was putrid. The most games scored against a Power 5 opponent on their schedule was, let's see, against a Power 5 opponent was 31 against Cal in overtime. Their second most was 30 and a loss to Arizona State. So, we can say that Washington's offense was not the best. How do they fix that? Well, not really much that they can fix. They got a couple of transfers. They got one who's a transfer freshman, redshirt freshman from Arizona State, Lanyata Alexander Jr. He could help, he could not, who knows. They got another transfer quarterback in Michael Penix Jr. They still have Dylan Morris, who was their quarterback last year. Then they got a sophomore transfer, Aaron Dumas, from New Mexico. Can he help? Who knows. Still have Cameron Davis, redshirt sophomore. They got a graduate transfer running back, Wayne Taulapapa from Virginia. Maybe he can help. And then Will Nixon, redshirt freshman transfer from Nebraska. So that's the offense. Their offensive line is about the same as it was last year, so it could hold them back. It could not. Who knows? Defensively, they should be around the same as they were last year. They got some transfers in Cam Bright, graduate transfer from Pittsburgh, inside linebacker, and cornerback Jordan Perryman, senior transfer, in from UC Davis. So the team looks, depending on quarterback play and how the offense is, they should be a decent team. That is the key word, should. Will they? Who knows? Now let's look at how they've been recruiting over the past couple of years. Washington, along with their brother, Washington State, have been near the bottom of recruiting in the top 25 in the recruiting rankings of the top 66. Washington is number 32 overall over the last 5 seasons. 94th this year, 30th last year, 17th in 2020, 16th in 2019, and 16th in 2018. Ever since Scott, what was his name? Peterson. He was the head coach at Boise State for a while, went to Washington. Chris Peterson. Ever since Chris Peterson retired, the recruiting has steadily went downhill every year. So that's not good for Washington. So, who knows how they're going to be in the next couple of years. Anyways, let's look at the schedule, see how they'll do this year. So Washington, they start the season against Kent State and Portland State. If it was last year, honestly, Kent State would have a dog in this fight. Dustin Crum was a great quarterback, and they had some pieces. However, Dustin Crum is gone, and so are some of those pieces. So I'm going to give Washington, reluctantly, the win at home against Kent State. However, if they lose that game, they may not win more, or they'll definitely not make a bowl game. Portland State's next. They should win that game easily. So that's 2-0. Then they have a marquee game at home against Michigan State. Michael Penix Jr., I didn't touch on him a lot. 2020, he was one of the better quarterbacks in the Big Ten. He played for Indiana, beat Penn State, gave Ohio State a run for their money, and he was good. Last year, he had some injuries, and the team around him was just not doing well. Can he turn it around here? I'm honestly torn on it. Michael Penix, he was a great quarterback his first year. Second year regressed a little bit. Will he regress more at Washington? I don't know. It's hard to say, honestly. However, I think Michigan State is just going to be too much. I think it's going to be a defensive game. Mel Tucker is a defensive coach, and I think it's going to be a defensive game, but I think Michigan State pulls out in the end, and you get your first loss. You're 2-1. Then you play Stanford at home, and Stanford, they're a wild card as well. They don't have the most talent in the world, but they're capable of upsetting other teams, and I think they beat you in Seattle. So you're 2-2. Then you're at UCLA, and surprisingly, I think you get a win here. I think your defense slows down UCLA enough to where your offense, under Michael Penix, can score enough. So you're 3-2 now. Then you're on the road at Arizona State, and I think they get the win. It's going to be a fight between Michael Penix and most likely Emory Jones. And it's a toss-up, honestly. Emory Jones in some games last year at Florida impressed, like against Alabama. In some games, he just looked terrible. So I think you do get the win, but it could be a toss-up. I would honestly switch this game and the Stanford game, or switch this game. Or actually, I wouldn't switch this at all. Hold on. Yeah. Switch. Well, no. Hold on. Yeah, switch the win and loss of this game and the Stanford game. But I don't know. It's either I'm gonna stick with what I got. At Arizona State, that's gonna be a win. So you're 4-2. Then you're against Arizona. Or no, that's a loss. I'm sorry, I had that all wrong. That's a loss at Arizona State. Actually, no. I'm making it audible. That's gonna be a win. That's going to be a win at Arizona State. I think Michael Penix at this point is going to have a little bit of a career resurgence, maybe. It's going to be kind of maybe a shootout in Arizona State, but I think that Washington's defense is going to be enough to slow down Emory Jones and company. Then you're against Arizona, and I think you get the win, and you're now 5-2. Then you go on the road to Cal, and I think you get another loss. Cal is a pretty decent team, and I think they're going to shock some people this year, especially in the Pac-12. So that's 5-3 going into your bye week. Not bad, not bad. Then you have Oregon State at home. I think Oregon State's going to be better than people think, and I think you get the loss in Seattle. Then you're at Oregon, and I think you lose. Oregon's going to take a step back this year, but I think they have more talent than you do. And I think talent's going to win this game. So you are 5-4. No. Yeah. 5-4. No. At this point, you're 5-5. Then you have Colorado at home. Colorado's going to be a terrible team this year. I think you get the win. And then you're at Washington State, and I think you get the loss. Washington State's going to be better than you this year. This year, you're going to be the little brother in your own state. So, there you have it. I think you end up going 6-6. I think you make a bowl game. And that audible in the middle of the schedule actually saved you. It's hard to win both road games. However, I think you do win one of them. Actually, I think you win both of them. I think you win at UCLA and at Arizona State. It's going to be a big win. Both wins are going to be big wins. especially for bowl eligibility. So I think you go 6-6 and maybe go over 500 if you can win your bowl game. So anyways, thank you all so much for watching. I hope y'all enjoyed, and have a great day, and go Dogs.